What's FU? Oh no, that's not good.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we are reviewing the QualiSports Beluga Plus. Now what makes this bike special is it is a folding e-bike, but it has 2 batteries in it. Want to learn more? Well, let's get into it. The Beluga Plus is a Class 2 e-bike, which means it'll go up to 20 miles an hour via the throttle here on your left-hand side, your 5 levels of pedal assist, and your cadence sensor that's down below. This bike weighs 64 pounds, but it has a payload capacity of 300 pounds. This bike only comes in a step-over version that you see here. The average rider height of this bike is 5'2" to 6'2". This bike comes in 2 different colors. You can get the satin black that I have right here, and it also comes in a glossy metallic gray. You can also get this bike in 2 different versions. You can get the single battery mode, which is $1,599, or you can get the dual battery version that I have here for $1,799. QualiSports says that the Beluga Plus will go up to 50 plus miles on a single battery charge, and that is with the dual battery version. Since that's what I have, we'll be testing that out today. The Beluga Plus has a 48 volt 500 watt geared brushless motor. It has 750 watts peak and 60 Newton meters of torque. It has a Shimano 7-speed transmission with a tourney derailleur, a derailleur guard, and the Shimano 7-speed trigger shifter. For stopping power, the brakes are branded QualiSports. They are 2-piston hydraulic brakes, and it comes with 160 millimeter rotors. The front forks are hydraulic. They have 80 millimeters of travel. You can preload them or you can lock them out. The Beluga Plus is sitting on 20 by 4.25 inch Innova tires. They have a really great street pattern on them and they're puncture resistant. So let's talk battery. Now with the single battery version, well, with all versions, you're going to get this seat post battery right here. So this whole thing is a battery. It goes down way far into here and then the cable comes up and it screws into the bottom. But this battery is 48 volt, 10.5 amp hours with 504 watt hours. If you get the dual battery version of this bike, well, this battery is going to be shipped to you separately, and this is what goes into the frame. Now, this battery is 48 volts, 7 amps with 336 watt hours of power, so that's your additional part. There is a USB port here on the back to where you can use it as just like a power bank if you need to, and there is a percentage indicator when you turn the battery on. I don't think you can probably see it on the camera, but it's showing that we are at, well, 99%. When it comes to charging the bike, we have some options. Now, it does come with a 3 amp charger, and if you have the single version, that means you're going to be able to charge this battery up in about 5 hours. If you're charging both these batteries up, well, the total amount of time is going to be about 7 hours to charge both of these batteries to full. One of the ways that you can charge this battery is just by plugging it into this top part right here. And the same thing with this secondary battery. If you pull it out and take it indoors, well, there's a little charger right here on the end, little charging port that you can put it into. But if you have both of these batteries in the bike, there is a charging port right down here that will charge them both. When it comes to charging, it'll charge the frame battery first, and then it'll charge the seat post battery. If you have the single battery version of this bike and not the dual, this charging port will charge up this battery without having to remove it from the bike. I do want to mention that both batteries on this bike are UL certified. Also, the electronics on this bike are UL certified as well. I'm going to show you how to put this secondary battery in, but first we need to fold this bike up so we can get access into this inner frame. Now this bike is 68 inches when it's unfolded, and to fold it is, well, pretty simple. You're just going to slide this little safety tab back and flip this down, and then the gooseneck just slides right down. From there, we're going to release the frame, safety, pop the latch. Oh, before we do that, let's drop this seat post down to its lowest, because from there, the bike will sit on it down here. Then we're just going to fold the bike up and let it rest on the seat post battery. To insert the battery, as you can see, it says insert upside. So you're just going to take it, you're going to slide it in, you're going to hear the click, and you know it is in there. There is a power button that you can leave inside the bike, and it will not use this battery until you turn it on. To take the battery out, just as simple, unfold the bike, put your key in here, turn it, and it slides right out. There is a magnetic lock that connects the front tire and the rear tire together when it's in the folded position. This rack that I installed, which does not come originally with the bike, is preventing those from touching. This is the magnet system I was talking about. As you can see, it touches right here. Now, currently this rack is stopping it from fully touching, but as you can see, it just connects right here and it just sticks together to keep your bike in that folded position. When folded, this bike is only 35 inches long and 30 inches tall. Additional features include metal fenders, you have a quick release seat post, you have a collapsible stem along with a telescoping stem, and you can even adjust the angle that your handlebars are. When it comes to this back rack, that's an additional purchase. This rack can hold up to 55 pounds. Let's talk size and fit. Now this is the very minimum that it says that you should have the seat post, which I'm assuming that's for your 5'2" riders, and then it goes all the way up to here. That is your maximum height. Now the front stem here does telescope up. And this right here shows your maximum height of the handlebars. Cockpit operations. On your left-hand side, you have a single locking grip. Now these are one of the grips that, like the rubber is perfect on one of these, and it has a palm rest. Here is your front brake lever. Here's your throttle, and here's your display. To turn the bike on, you're just going to hold down the power button and it brings it up. The display is a basic black and white display. As you can see, your battery indicator right here. This shows you how much time you have spent on the bike. This is your pedal assist level, and this is your speedometer. From here, it shows you total miles on the bike. Now by hitting the up button, well, that's going to run you through the different levels of pedal assist all the way up to 5. And then when you lower them, it takes you all the way down to 0. By hitting the power button real quick, it's going to run you through different screens, total time on the bike, average speed, and when you get to the top speed, it shows you how many volts the battery is reading right now. To turn the headlight on, you're just going to hold the plus button until you see the light come on and the little indicator shows up on the screen. To turn the light back off, well, you're just going to hold that button until it shuts off. It doesn't come with an integrated tail light or brake light, but it does have this battery-powered one that you assemble. You turn it on by hitting that little black button, and then you turn it off the same way. On the right-hand side, we have another great feeling grip. This is your rear brake pad right here. Here is your trigger shifter, and that's where you click this to go down in gear, but there's another trigger in the back, and you use your index finger to click that up and go up in gear, and it came with a bell. It is time to take the Beluga Plus out on the road for its road test, so let's see how she does. Let's go ahead and start off by seeing how easy this bike is to ride in pedal assist 0, which is what we're in right now. Not sure if you guys can see that. There we go. We'll just turn that a little bit. It is going to be a beautiful day here in Chicago. It is 49 degrees, or it's going to be 49 degrees. It's already like 45. So this is a great day to go out for a long distance ride. And riding this bike with 0 pedal assist isn't bad at all. We're doing about 11 miles an hour. And let's hope that I don't have to do that to get back home. Let's go ahead and see what the pedal assist levels are and the speeds that we get with them. This is a class 2 e-bike, which means it's only going to go about 20 miles an hour. And in pedal assist number 1, it's going to be 12 miles an hour. Pedal assist number 2, I don't even really feel it kicking in. It's very gentle. I can tell it is taking us a little bit faster though. Yeah, 15 miles an hour in pedal assist number 2. Number 3, go ahead and kick it up into gear 7. About 17, 18 miles an hour. Pedal assist number 4, we're doing basically 20 miles an hour. It says 19.8, 19.9. Pedal assist 5, I doubt that we notice any sort of difference. I mean, I do have it in the highest pedal assist level I can put it into. There is no ghost pedaling with this bike. Everything feels comfortable, and that is a good thing. Now let's talk about throttle. This bike's a little bit different. We can't do a pedal test because you cannot start off, like you can't be at a dead stop, put it in pedal assist 1 and hit the throttle and the bike move. This one does it a little bit different. Like that is not an option. So you must be pedaling about 7 miles an hour before the throttle kicks in. But I guess we can check it out to see how fast the throttle goes if you're in pedal assist level 1, which is what we're doing right now. All right, here's something interesting, that the throttle doesn't even want to work if you're not pedaling the bike. It's just dying. So the throttle is not going to work unless you start to pedal, and then let me hit the throttle, and now it's working. So will it hold a level at pedal assist 1? No.
It will not. So let's put it in pedal assist 2, pedal a little bit, try the throttle, see if it'll hold. No. Pedal assist 3, pedal a little bit, hit the throttle. Will she hold? Yes. I feel the throttle is doing its thing. Yes, so we're cruising at 13 miles an hour in pedal assist 3 using throttle only. Let's go to 4. Ooh. So pedal assist 4, throttle only, like 15 and a half miles an hour. Pedal assist level 5, throttle only, should take us up to 20 miles an hour. Yep, sure does. We're here at a dead stop, and let me show you how this throttle actually works. If you're going to stop, you're going to make sure you want to be in a lower gear, and then you have to pedal like a quarter of a turn before pedal assist kicks in, and then you just hit the throttle, and then it'll work. That is definitely different from any of the other e-bikes that I've used. I don't think I'm a fan of that, but it is what it is, because when I'm in the city and I'm taking off at a stoplight, well, I need to be able to keep going. And I normally use throttle first to get me moving, and then, you immediately start pedaling for pedal assist. So luckily, at least with this, the pedal assist kicks in quickly. It also seems like the throttle will not let you keep throttling if you are not pedaling. Oh, the seat keeps dropping. I have tried to tighten this seat post down a couple of different ways, but I did notice that there is the ability to use an Allen wrench to tighten it down even more. And I think that's what we're going to have to use, because the way the clamp is created, you can't really spin the dial to tighten it up. So we're going to have to use an Allen key to do it. But my seat's all the way in the bottom position now. Looks like we're getting lucky. Seems like the throttle is holding, and I'm not pedaling because my seat's down all the way. At first I didn't think it did that, but it is proving that it is. It is proving that it does. Ugh. That should do it. I'm going to take this key with me just in case it doesn't, but just saying, I'm 225 pounds. Then I have clothing on, so there's a lot of weight going on this clamp, especially when it's battery and it has this big wide open mouth. So you're going to end up possibly needing to clamp it and then use this Allen key to tighten it down even more to keep it from sliding. Because when it slides down, well, you have this wire right here that is going to scrape and hit the ground. It all plugs in right here at the bottom. And you want to make sure that that stays protected. While we're at it, might as well talk about the half knee bar and mirror that I put on here for security. And then also, I have a feeling I'm going to be on this bike for a while. So I went ahead and put on the Magic Shine Ray 1200B. It has 2 batteries in it. There's 2 blinking lights, but it should last this entire review. I am also using my Rock Bros bag, and this is what I have all of my camera equipment in and a bottle of water. I like this bag. It goes really well with this rack because this rack is kind of thicker, so is this bag. So everything seems to fit really well. And if I decide to break out one of the panniers, well, it'll hook into this spot right here. That's the reason why I wanted to put a back rack on this bike. I want to show you a couple of other features that I didn't show you about this display. If you turn it up, there is a USB port. It's a USB-A that you can use to plug your phone into. And then if you go ahead and hit the minus and plus button, well, it's going to give you an opportunity to reset your trip time and the trip mileage. So we're just going to go ahead and do that now. We have already done 3.89 miles. Let's go ahead and, we'll see how accurate that is. We'll just have to do the math, but I wanted to pull this out so I knew what the difference was going to be, and we'll see how close it is in the end. Let's go ahead and do a speedometer test and see how accurate it is compared to the display, and it looks like it is 100% accurate, which is good. These are the kind of grips that I love the most. They're more of a softer rubber than they are hard, and they just always feel great on your hands whether you're wearing gloves or not. This seat though, I think the seat's going to be causing me some issues in the end. It seems to be pretty hard, but I have to tell you what, I love these tires. They're nice and quiet. They're gripping really well. They just feel nice. And they're a little bit bigger than the 4-inch tires that we're used to dealing with. It is too bad that they will not share the unlock ability of this bike because it feels like it just wants to go faster. Even if you were getting like 23, 24 miles out of it, that would feel perfect for this bike. but you can just feel it in the motor, like it just wants to go. This brake setup feels great. I bet this thing is going to do really well during the brake test. I mean, even if it doesn't, it just feels good. Everything about that feels great. All right, let's go ahead and do our little off-road part. Going through the park. Oh, something's making a little bit of noise. I mean, my bag's making noise because everything in it's rattling around my drone and all of that, but I think it's just a wire hitting the frame. Besides that, this bike feels beefy. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And nothing felt like it was falling apart or anything. I mean, we haven't gone very far, but I would say that this is probably one of the better riding of the folding bikes that I've tried out. It is time for the hill test. I don't know how we're going to do this. I can't use throttle only, so we're going to have to pedal a little bit before the pedal assist kicks in, and then I'll try to kick it over to throttle. All right, here we go. Oh, my gear's too high. Oh, gosh. Kick it down, kick it down. There we go. All right, we're going to hit throttle. I mean, she's climbing just fine. You just have to do that initial pedaling to get it to where the throttle will kick in. Once you get that going, it does just fine. We're going to try it again with just pedaling up the hill. We're in that lower gear, and I'm sure it won't be an issue at all. Yeah, we're just moving right up the hill. No problem at all. We're going to start working our way out to Lakeshore Drive Trail. This is one of those displays when it comes to the battery, and it shows it at like an angle. Well, it already shows that we dropped 1 bar, and it had shown that we dropped 1 bar within the first 3 miles of taking off on this review. So I'm not a huge fan of the battery management part of this. That's why I'm totally relying on the voltage that it's showing for this battery, which right now we're at 49. It bounces 46, 45, and that's what we'll be using. Not so much this one. Look, it already dropped. Well, it's like dropping down another bar already. I have the second battery, the one that's in the frame. I have it turned off, and we are going to use that to get our mileage distance if you bought the double battery version. And I'm leaving it off so we can see what the distance is if you just have the single battery version. So I'm trying to give you guys 2 separate distance tests. Since this battery has dropped down to the last 2 bars, it does show we're here at 49%. Let's see, 49% puts us at 65% battery power, and we have gone 8.36 miles so far. Walk feature, let's go ahead. If it works, it should be where you just hold the minus button down, and then the bike should take off. Oh, yep, it does. So it does have a walk feature by just holding down the minus button. All right, well, we're going to keep pushing. It feels like it is about 10 degrees colder being over here on the lake, as you always have that lake effect, but it is a beautiful day. I wanted to give you guys a shot so you can see what downtown Chicago looks like. And we are on the Lakeshore Trail. Right now, the battery indicator is showing that we're down to 1 bar, but it is showing that we have 43 to 44 voltage going through the bike. So we'll stop up here in a little bit, see where we're at mileage-wise, and see where we're at battery-wise. Putting the mileage on this bike, though, this thing is super smooth, which is nice. And I feel like they have the right tires on this bike. They have the right grips, they have the right brakes. You're not ghost pedaling. So overall, I am pleased with this little foldable bike. I mean, I feel like I could drop my car off anywhere and still be able to ride this bike anywhere I needed to go while they were working on my car. Or you could use this as a daily rider in a city like this. Not everybody has like a garage or a storage facility like I have. This bike folds up so small. And if you pull the seat up on it, it does have a way to where you can just use that seat as a handle and walk the bike when it's in a folded position, Now, I can tell you that we have dropped a little bit on, as we're getting lower. Now the battery is showing no bar right here. But when you're looking at the voltage, we're at 43, which is also low, and the bike is just barely slowing down. Now, we still haven't done a brake test with this bike yet, and I'm wondering if we're going to get a chance to, considering on how fast it's been dropping battery power. Now, I do believe that if they were talking about, this bike going 50 plus miles, well, they always talk about putting it in pedal assist 1, riding at about 12 to 14 miles an hour, and then just going forever. Well, in a big city like this, you don't want to be just cruising at 12 or 14 miles an hour. Actually, you'd like to be going a little bit faster than 20, although as I've been riding around and going through the city streets, this 20 miles an hour has been sufficient. I haven't felt the need to outrun any cars or anything like that. Oh man, just all of this is just ice coming up here. I don't approve. Throttle is still working, so that's good. Oh, it just cut out. But I don't know if that's because I'm not pedaling or whatever. Actually, all right, so the battery indicator was flashing there a second ago when I was using throttle. So apparently it doesn't like that. I mean, this thing is almost about out of battery. I am so glad that I have a secondary one in there, because once we put it in, we're going to start heading back, and then we'll find a place to do the brake test. All right, guys, time to do a mileage check. As I was pulling up here, we have 0 bars at this point, and the battery indicator started to flash, but it shows that we have 45.8 volts, which means that the battery is about 40%. Strava shows that we've gone 13.22 miles to get to this point right here. I don't expect this battery to last much longer, so let's see what happens. It is time to do the brake test. Let's go ahead and get this thing up to 20 miles an hour, and then we will slam on the brakes and see how well she does. I had a feeling she was going to stop really well. We are at right under 16 feet. Yeah, I figured she was going to stop. We'll try it again, but I have a feeling it's going to be the same. Second attempt on the brake test. 20 miles an hour, going to hit the brakes. Ooh. Oh, now we're at 14 feet. This thing stops. Does a great job. Now, I do want to let you know that we have been doing all of this review in pedal assist number 5. I try to run these bikes through the worst case scenario that we could to see how they handle. So if you know what the worst case scenario is and you're doing anything less than that, well, then you should be good. Even though the battery indicator level shows that there's no bars, the battery is still showing at 42.5 on volts. I'm definitely feeling the hardness of this seat, but because of the way that it is shaped, so far I'm still good. Now, having a bike like this, you're not able to put a suspension seat post on this bike. You can change out the seat, but you wouldn't be able to put any kind of suspension on there because that's where your battery is. The battery indicator is now flashing, and we're at like 40 volts, and you can tell like the bike is starting to really drag right now. I think we're going to have to be switching out here in a couple minutes. Yeah, like it feels like there's no power coming to this bike. Let's see what 43% is. This is 43.5. This says 43.7, means that we have 30% battery power left, but I'm not feeling it. Yeah, the power is intermittent, so it'll push forward, and then it like lays off, and then so it's pulsing. And the fact, like, now I have power right now, but now I don't. I want to hit the sand to see how this does, but I don't want to do it if it's going to keep giving out on me. So we're going to head out here, see if we can get it to the point to where it doesn't provide any assistance. But I have to tell you, when it pulses like that, when it provides you assistance and then it doesn't, like right now, it's not providing any. And now it is. And then you feel it kick off, like now it's not. And that's pretty annoying. That's not the kind of riding experience that you want to do for a long distance. No power. Oh, there we go. Now I have assist. And then it went away. All right, so since that is annoying, I'm going to call it on this battery, just because I don't think anybody would want to ride with power for like 2 seconds and then another 10 seconds of no power. So let's see where we're at. We're going to call it on this first battery here. Yeah, still showing 43%, 43.3, which is 30%. But if it's cutting in and out, what's the point? So Strava shows that we made it 15.86 miles on this original battery. And that battery is only 502 watt hours. Now, the one that we're about to turn on is only 336. So hopefully that should be enough to get me home. Well, we're going to ride through this sand first, but then I'll be heading straight home with it. To turn this second battery on, we have to open up the frame. There's a power button, and now we have just turned it on. Let's close her back up. Let's see if the display notices. Well, the display is not showing anything yet, so let's go ahead and turn this off. Turn it back on. Okay, that is not bringing me much confidence. There's no way this bike is already out of battery with 2 batteries. Let me double check to make sure that that center one, that the secondary battery is on. All right, that's showing me a percentage of what's FU. Oh no, that's not good. How is it pulling from the second battery when I had it turned off? Let's see what it's showing voltage wise. Let's see what we got here. Okay, even though it's not showing it on the indicator, it's showing that we have 54 volts again on the secondary battery. Whew, I was worried there for a second. I don't know why it's not showing that, but that is enough to scare you. But we are good to go. We're back to 54 volts. Let's go ahead and do the sand test. Go ahead and play in the sand, see how that turns out. All right, here we go, testing out in the sand. I have to get pedaling because, you can't just throttle. So here we go. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like these tires on the sand. We are just moving right through. Oh, but now we're getting to the thick stuff. We're getting to the thick stuff. Let me cut it down a gear. Oh, a couple gears. Oh, yeah. Wow, okay, so I'm really liking these tires on the sand. She's doing really good. Woohoo! Better than what I thought it would do, to be honest. Can I use the throttle to help? Yep. Oh, there we go. There we go. Everything is playing nice now. Now, I've used various tires in the sand, and these by far felt the best. And our display now shows the battery bumped up again. Okay, that's a relief. So now we know it just takes a little bit for the display to read it. You like switch out the battery, turn it on, and then take it for a ride. And within a minute or so, it'll start reading the new levels, and you'll be good. I don't know why I'm doing this. Probably going to screw myself because I always end up doing that. But just when you have full power, you feel like you just want to go. So right now I'm heading the opposite direction of where I need to be heading just because I enjoy riding down this road. We're not going to go very far this direction. Well, we already went from 54 to 45 on voltage. Doggone it. All right, so we're going to turn around. I am going to put myself in a pickle if I don't turn around right now. Doggone it. Yeah, we're going to head back. I know how I am. I'll start riding, and this battery is a lot smaller than the seat post battery, so let's just play it safe for a change. This bike does feel more sturdy and more like a normal bike than most of the other folding bikes that I've ridden. It does help that the back rack is lower in the back, because even though I have a bag on the back, it makes it, real easy for you to put your leg over that because it's still lower than the seat. So if your leg can clear the seat, it'll clear the bag you have on the back. Oh, now it took out. Okay, now that was a little bit rough because we were on an incline just a little bit. Would have been nice to be able to throttle through that. We are taking the long route home since I have this extra battery power. We've been riding for a little bit. Although the battery indicator shows that it's down to like 2 bars, we're still at 49.2 on the voltage. We are back to that point where it just cut off on power. Shows that we have 43. Now I got the power back. So now we're going back to that surge thing, which I'm not a fan. When this thing is giving you all the power, it feels great. It's super nice to ride. But when it starts doing that part where it, gives you a little bit of power and then kicks it off for a while, well, that's when it becomes not so fun to ride. Our voltage is getting really low. I've been heading on the 606, the opposite direction of the house. Looks like I need to turn around and start heading back because I don't know how long it's going to be till we start doing some serious pulsing and I start losing all kinds of power. Ooh, she turns really easy. Oh, see, we just lost power. And it shows that we're at 45.7 volts, but there's no power going right now. Now it's coming back slowly, and now we got the power back. I just want to try throttle at 41.5 volts. Throttle seems to be working, and we're holding about 18, 19 miles an hour. All right, our battery is now flashing. I'm feeling no power to the bike. Oh, no, it's coming back. It's coming back. Never mind. Nope, it went away. Nope, it's back. So what we'll do is we'll make it to the house. We're not that far away. We're about 3 blocks away. We'll go ahead and make it to the house. I'm going to give you my final thoughts on this because at this point, with the pulsing, with the power, and then the no power, it's no fun to ride. And that's what these reviews are about. To see what these bikes will do, to see when they're fun to ride and when they're not. And we are to the point now to where the bike is fun to ride until it loses power. Which is funny. I've got power right now, and we're just moving right along. So it's very intermittent on cutting off the power as soon as you get down to like 40% of battery, especially at 30%. That's going to cut out in and out a lot. Right? Like now I have no power. We have made it back. Now I'm taking a look at the display here, and it shows that we have 45.8 volts coming from the battery to the bike, which puts the battery percentage at 40%. But as you guys saw, it started to pulse, where it was giving me some power, then taking it away, some power, taking it away. And that wasn't a whole lot of fun to ride at that point. Now, if you just have the single battery bike, Strava shows that you'll do about 15.87 miles if you keep it in pedal assist 5 all the time and then just push it as hard as you can. When it came to the dual battery version, Strava says that we made it 25.23 miles using both batteries. Don't forget that I also kept it in pedal assist number 5 when we were only just using the frame battery as well. Now, I also had an issue when it came to the throttle on this bike. Although it works well, it doesn't work from a dead stop. And that's where I feel like you really need a throttle when it comes to an e-bike, one that weighs 60, 70 pounds. Once we got up to 7 miles an hour, well, the throttle then works and you are on your way, but it would be intermittent in some points to where it couldn't remember if it was supposed to be working or not, and then you'd have to pedal just a little bit, and then it would kick back on. Now, besides that, this bike, I felt like it rode better than some of the other folding bikes that I have reviewed. Love the tires, right? I love the tread on these tires. I love how wide they are. They're a little bit wider than the 4-inch. They're 4.25. And just that part felt great. This bike felt beefy, if that makes sense. Like it felt like it was made to carry a lot of weight. When I was riding it, it was a good time. Like I'm pedaling, everything felt good. There was no ghost pedaling with this bike, and it stops on a dime. The brake levers feel great. All of that kind of stuff. I'm super happy with this bike. Now let's talk seats. Well, that's subjective, right? That's subjective to the person. For me, I felt like the seat was a little bit hard, but during this whole ride, the whole 25 miles, it didn't hurt my bum. So it felt, it did the job for as far as this bike could go. That's not something that I feel I would need to switch out. Now, with that said, if you are interested in the Beluga Plus, well, I'm going to go ahead and leave a link in the description down below. There'll also be a discount code that you can use. It's going to save you $100 off the purchase of this bike. So that's it. That's my review on the Beluga Plus. I want to thank you for watching. And until I see you again, enjoy the ride.